Alright, y'all, so I didn't record me hooking up and all that stuff like I wanted to, but here's a Century Class. So this is a 2006 Freightliner Century Class with a Eaton 10-speed automatic transmission. The plan is to get this truck on the road, and then we'll come back and do the frame swap, you know, throw the school bus frame on there. My boy Checkmate said. So let me show y'all the pro tote situation, the tow truck situation. So these super singles right here are the super singles that were on the Pete. So when I was putting the Pete on the road, well, I originally was putting this truck on the road first 2 years ago, and I put all brand new tires on there, and then I ended up swapping them rims and tires over to the Pete, and I was putting the Pete on the haul tanks. So anyways, this is the setup of a pro tote. If you don't have this plate right here, you don't have this plate, you're supposed to put the dang bar, the bar is supposed to go inside the frame. If you do have the plate, you'll just butt it up. You'll just butt it up against the frame right here. And then it just hooks into the fifth wheel. Y'all can see that. Got ratchet binders to hold on. So like I said, the tow truck used to be this blue truck right here, this blue Freightliner Classic. And then they took it off of this Classic and they put a dump bed on there. And then they swapped it over to this Cascadia. Well, now they took it off the Cascadia, and now they got it on this Volvo right here. So yeah. By the way, that's a 2020 Kenworth T680 right there with a 13-speed. It had a pack car. The pack car went bad. They dropped a cat in that dang thing right there. Beast. So yeah, this is what I use to tow the truck to Houston. Is it magnetic? I don't know how that sits in there, but y'all can see. Oh, there we go. Kick it back in. But yeah, I don't think it's holding on to anything. Yeah, that's just flapping. But yeah, this is the Century Class. It's the ST, Century Class ST. Boy, Chick called it the dinosaur arm. I actually cleaned this truck out a couple years ago when I first got it. I used to drive this truck to pick up my kids from school, at work in AC and everything. But yeah, so this is the truck that I'm gonna drive for probably about a month or two, maybe 3 or 4 months, who knows. But that windshield got to be replaced. They got another crack right here. So I'm just getting myself ready, because like I said, I got to do these things. This looks like a Cascadia seat right here. I'm gonna put a Legacy seat in here, or I could possibly swap that passenger seat over. Not really a fan of cloth seats, man. I prefer leather seats. I do like the Cascadias that have like the, not Cascadias, the Century Class that have the full gauges down here. So, you know, missing 3 gauges right here, missing 2 gauges over there. I might actually, I know my Houston shop probably got them somewhere in stock. I might replace that whole panel right there so it can be lit up with nothing but gauges. And yeah, this is pretty much what I'm finna be rolling in. Key still in the ignition from when I bought it from the auction. Yeah, it got a 14-liter in it. Let me see, I don't know if they want me to take this off or not, if they want to leave it on. Let me pop this hood for y'all, because I'm gonna have this thing looking clean when I do get around to it. Hold up. Alright, let me pop this hood for y'all. Y'all can see what we're working with. These lights and stuff, man, gotta come off. I don't like that type of stuff. That shit is so tacky. And then look, the front bumper down there is dragging, broke off. That look like that part right here, this end right here is held on with some self-tapping screws and bolts and all that crap. Ugh. We got the big 14 liter. Yeah, so I gotta have them go through this truck, man. But like I said, they got air ride. You can see the airbag, leveling valve. Have them check all the brakes. So the first thing they're gonna do before they do anything on this truck is actually make sure nothing's wrong with the truck. I said, but I do know there's a coolant leak somewhere because all my coolant out of the reservoir is gone. Y'all see? Air ride. Something was leaking here. That could have been coolant or power steering fluid. Y'all see that blue hose? That was a new hose I put on when I first bought the truck. So yeah, looks like a Fleet Guard, I say Cummins on it. That could be a fuel filter. Not fuel filter, excuse me, a coolant filter. Yeah, this hose right here was new as well. So yeah, man, we're gonna get this thing right. Hopefully it shouldn't take them too long. I'm looking at the brakes and stuff. I'm thinking to have them possibly change the shocks on the front. But yeah, engine needs to be cleaned up. You know what I'm saying? More than likely they probably gonna clean the engine up and then just go through it, man. It's a fuel pump right here. That tag actually looks very legible, so that might not actually be too old. Yeah, see what it do. Wouldn't be surprised if the check valve on there needs to be replaced because I'll probably say when I used to have a problem starting up. Look at my steers, man. Brand new steers on here. Brand new steers. Yeah, they Iron Mans. They need to be polished up. So yeah, like I said, this is what we're gonna ride in. Definitely gotta get a new air filter. Once they check and make sure this truck is A1 or is ready to go, then we're gonna get a new alternator, new AC compressor, new dryer, new belts, new air filter. You know, have them check all these clamps and hoses and boots and stuff, man. Anything that can go wrong, I need it addressed. So this line right here, I'm not sure that's an AC line or if that's a coolant line. But yeah, get that checked out. And I actually want them to paint the engine up and stuff. I don't know if it's deleted or not. So, you know, they'll have to check that out when they get around to it. Yeah. Fuel water separator right here. And I guess it's kind of like Hustle's truck, man. It only got one, you know, starter back there. Go ahead and get that starter changed out. Check for air leaks. You know, hopefully the air compressor is good. Probably had them change that fuel pump though. You know, change any lines that look crazy. Go ahead and change it. You know, grease the whole truck up. Make sure the AC's running good. Make sure the engine's running good. And yeah, go from there. And so they do got super singles on it. Check the brakes back here. Oh, the brakes actually don't look too bad. So the brakes might be good. Yeah, even though it's been sitting. I'm trying to remember if I hooked anything up to, I don't think I've ever hooked anything up to the fifth wheel, so hopefully that fifth wheel is straight. And yeah, these batteries shouldn't be too weathered. And I actually want this same setup as far as the battery box. I want the same setup on the Classic, so where I can utilize my good batteries. Can't tell me the batteries don't still look good. Look at them. Still look good. 2023. That's when I replace the batteries. So they're gonna replace them again. I wish they could just jump start them, but you know, I'll let them do what they do. I know I replaced the airbags on here because I used to have a bad air leak. It had a bad air leak when I bought it. So you know, we'll replace these lines and stuff. And yeah, go from there. See what it do. And then as far as Big Daddy, the Classic, we'll walk over here, show y'all how far they've got. See, this is hot, man. The tow truck, the AC went out again. They fixed it yesterday, then it's back out again. So this is a piece of the frame that they cut off a truck so they can double frame Can't even tell. So yeah, now it's double framed on this area. Put new shocks on. The new shocks on right here, the Gabriels. Apparently Gabriels ain't the best. So he said I should have went with Monroe's, but man, we finna swap this thing to air ride. Or maybe after they swap the frame, then we'll air ride it. I'll get that kit from Florida's Finest Customers. But yeah, that's pretty much where we at, folks. Like I said, I'm nervous. But you know, we're just gonna run it. Now there's just more stuff I gotta double check on my pre-trip and post-trip. Here's my old shock right here. It's no good. So I mean, eventually, when they do the framing, when they do the change of the frame, I'm gonna go ahead and change all the airbags and shocks back here as well for the truck and the cab over here. I'm gonna change the whole thing. Y'all look at my truck, man. Y'all can tell I take care of this thing. If you can't tell, I don't know what to tell you. But yeah, I try to take care of this thing. This is my baby. I do want them to add this plate right here to the other frame, because the other frame is open. Mind you, this was open and I had them add this. So yeah, they're gonna have to cut that off and stuff. But yeah, man, be alright. Old truck, old classic. That's the video for today, folks. We got the Century Class here. I got a load I got to pick up in the morning at 8 o'clock, so I'll be out here around 5, 6 o'clock tomorrow morning. Just can't even tell. And like I said, it's double framed. Oh yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna go wash my hands and stuff, man, and go talk to Daddy, see what he say, and we'll go from there. Y'all stay tuned. Any questions or concerns, drop it in the comment section. Get at your boy.